It starts with a silence that is louder than any scream. You know the exact moment I'm talking about. It's the silence in the bedroom, in the dark, broken only by the sound of a clock ticking on the nightstand, or the shifting of sheets as your partner turns away. You're lying there, staring at the ceiling, and the feeling washing over you isn't just embarrassment. It is a profound, crushing sense of isolation. You did everything you were supposed to do. You admitted you had a problem. You went to the doctor, you endured the awkward conversation, and you got the prescription. You spent the money. You took the little blue pill. You waited the 45 minutes. You felt the side effects kick in. The heat rising in your face, that dull, thumping headache behind the eyes, the stuffy nose that makes it hard to breathe. The mechanics of the drug were working on your face, but where it mattered. Nothing. Or perhaps something started, a flicker of hope, only to vanish halfway through, leaving you stranded. That moment is the most painful experience a man can go through because it strips away the last layer of your defense. You can no longer blame fatigue. You can no longer blame the mood. You brought in the heavy artillery, the pharmaceutical miracle that supposedly works for everyone, and it failed you. I have sat across the desk from hundreds of men, good men, strong men, men who run companies and build houses, who have broken down in tears telling me this exact story. They tell me their doctor's response was simply to double the dose. They went from 50 milligrams to 100, and do you know what happened? The headache got worse, the face got redder. But the result was exactly the same. The failure wasn't in the dosage. The failure was in the diagnosis. You are trying to fix a chemical signal with a mechanical pump. And frankly, it is like trying to drive a car with the parking brake pulled all the way up. You can stomp on the gas, which is your testosterone, and you can pour fuel additives into the tank, which is the Viagra, trying to force blood flow. But if that emergency brake is locked, you aren't going anywhere. You are just burning out the engine. I am Dr. Richard Coleman, and I am tired of seeing men destroyed by a medical system that treats them like hydraulic pumps instead of complex biological systems. If the blue pill didn't work for you, or if it stopped working, there's a very high probability that you are not broken. You are simply fighting a hidden enemy that your general practitioner probably didn't even test for. We need to talk about the brake pedal. Most men understand that testosterone is the gas pedal. It drives libido, aggression, pursuit, and energy. We obsess over it. We inject it. We rub creams on it. We take boosters for it. But biology is always a balance of opposing forces. If there is a gas pedal, there must be a brake. That brake is a hormone called prolactin. You need to understand what this hormone does to appreciate why it is ruining your life. In a healthy male, prolactin is the satisfaction hormone. It is designed to spike immediately after you achieve orgasm. Think about that feeling you get right after the deed is done. The drive is gone. The aggression evaporates. You feel passive, sleepy, and sexually neutral. That is the refractory period. It is a biological safety mechanism designed to stop you from going again immediately to allow the body to recover. Prolactin shuts down dopamine, the craving hormone, and tells your body, mission accomplished, shut down the systems. This is normal. This is healthy. But here is the tragedy for the modern man over 40. For many of you, this hormone is chronically high all the time. You're walking around, going to work, sitting at dinner, and lying in bed in a permanent state of post-ejaculation. You are chemically incapable of arousal because your brain thinks you have just finished. I remember a patient named Mark. He was 54, a successful architect. He came to me convinced his life was over. He told me, "Dr. Coleman, I love my wife. She is beautiful. Intellectually, I want her, but physically, it's like looking at a wall. I feel nothing." He had been on maximum doses of PDE5 inhibitors for 2 years. They had stopped working 6 months prior. His previous doctor told him it was psychological, that maybe he just wasn't attracted to her anymore. That is a devastating thing to tell a man who knows deep down that he loves his partner. I looked at his blood work. His testosterone was decent, sitting around 500. But his prolactin? It was 3 times the upper limit of the reference range. Mark wasn't falling out of love. Mark was drowning in the brake fluid of his own endocrine system. His body was screaming, "Stop," 24 hours a day. No amount of Viagra can overcome a brain that is signaling game over. If your prolactin is high, the signal is dead. It is that simple. The wire has been cut. But, and this is a crucial distinction that we cannot ignore, even if we cut the brake cable and restore the signal, it means nothing if the pipes are rusted shut. You need both the signal and the open road. I have seen men fix their hormones, but still struggle because years of high blood pressure or cholesterol have stiffened the vessels. I have linked a vital guide below on the vascular pressure blueprint. How mature men are flushing out arterial plaque to restore full, rigid blood flow naturally. You must address the hardware and the software simultaneously. So, why is this happening? Why are we seeing an epidemic of high prolactin in modern men? It isn't an accident. It is a byproduct of the way we live. The first major culprit is stress, specifically cortisol. Cortisol and prolactin are best friends. When you are under chronic stress, financial pressure, deadlines, family issues, the constant buzzing of your phone, your body enters a state of survival. In survival mode, reproduction is not a priority. Your body elevates prolactin to suppress your libido because, biologically speaking, it is not a safe time to bring offspring into the world. You might feel fine, you might think you are handling the stress, but your blood work tells the truth. You are chemically castrating yourself with worry. The second cause is perhaps even more insidious. Low dopamine. Dopamine and prolactin exist on a seesaw. When dopamine is high, prolactin is low. When dopamine crashes, prolactin spikes. Look at the modern male existence. We are overstimulated yet underfulfilled. We doom scroll on social media, spiking our dopamine with cheap hits, which leads to a crash. Or we are burnt out, unmotivated, finding no joy in our hobbies or work. This grey existence, this lack of drive and zest for life, is a symptom of low dopamine. When your dopamine levels flatline, the inhibitor is removed from prolactin and it surges. It creates a vicious cycle. High prolactin lowers dopamine further, making you more depressed, more passive, and less sexual. It is a downward spiral that ends in the urologist's office asking for pills that don't work. There is a physical sign, a tell that I look for the moment a patient walks through my door. It is uncomfortable to talk about, but we need to be blunt. Prolactin is the hormone that allows women to produce breast milk. It is a lactating hormone. If a man has elevated levels of this for a long period, he will start to develop gynecomastia, or what is crudely called man boobs. I'm not just talking about being overweight or carrying a bit of extra fat on the chest. I am talking about puffy, sensitive nipples or glandular tissue that feels firm behind the areola. I had a patient, David, a former college athlete who kept in shape. He was lean, but he wouldn't take his shirt off at the beach. He had this puffiness that he couldn't diet away. He thought it was just aging. It wasn't. It was prolactin. His body was literally feminizing because the hormonal brake pedal was jammed to the floor. If you have noticed this symptom, coupled with a lack of libido and ED that doesn't respond to Cialis or Viagra, you almost certainly have a prolactin issue. The tragedy is that the solution is not another expensive pharmaceutical with a list of side effects as long as your arm. The solution is often nutritional and lifestyle-based, but because it cannot be patented and sold for $20 a pill, you rarely hear about it. We need to boost dopamine and lower prolactin naturally. The most powerful tool in our arsenal is a specific form of vitamin B6 called P5P, pyridoxal 5-phosphate. Do not go out and buy cheap generic B6. It can sometimes cause nerve damage in high doses and isn't absorbed well. P5P is the active form. It acts directly on the pituitary gland to inhibit prolactin secretion. It mimics the action of dopamine. I have seen men's levels drop by half simply by introducing a high-quality P5P supplement into their daily regimen. Alongside P5P, we must look at zinc. Zinc is the master mineral for male sexual health. Not only does it help produce testosterone, but it also acts as an aromatase inhibitor, preventing that testosterone from turning into estrogen. Remember, high estrogen can also trigger prolactin release. It is all connected. By stabilizing your zinc levels, you protect your testosterone and keep prolactin in check. But supplements are only the catalyst. You must reclaim your dopamine. This means stepping away from the screens. It means sunlight in the morning. It means lifting heavy weights, which acutely boosts dopamine and testosterone. It means pursuing something difficult and achieving it. When you win at something, whether it's a workout, a project, or a hobby, your brain releases natural, healthy dopamine, which naturally pushes the prolactin brake pedal down. However, I must circle back to the warning I gave earlier. Lowering prolactin releases the parking brake. It allows the desire to return. It brings the color back to the world and the fire back to your belly. But remember, desire needs a delivery system. Don't leave the job half-finished. Check the resource below regarding the vascular pressure blueprint. How mature men are flushing out arterial plaque to restore full, rigid blood flow naturally. You do not want to find yourself in a position where the mind is finally ready, the signal is firing, but the blood simply cannot arrive because of decades of silent blockage. This is not just about sex. It is about your vitality. It is about that spark that makes you a man. High prolactin turns you into a spectator in your own life, passive, docile, and numb. You deserve better than that. You deserve to feel the drive you had in your 20s, tempered with the wisdom you have now. So here is what I want you to do. Do not just accept the aging diagnosis. Do not just blindly swallow the blue pill if it isn't working. Go to your doctor. Look them in the eye, and do not ask, demand a comprehensive blood panel. Tell them, I want my prolactin levels checked. If they ask why, tell them you are done treating the symptoms and you want to find the root cause. If your prolactin is over 10 or 15 ng/ml and you are having symptoms, you have your answer. You are not broken. You are just chemically suppressed. Stop letting a hidden hormone dictate your happiness. Release the brake, flush the pipes, reclaim your manhood. If you found value in this, if you felt like I was speaking directly to the shadow hanging over your bedroom, then this is just the beginning. We are going to peel back every layer of the lies men have been told about their health. I want you to click that subscribe button right now. Do not miss the next video, because we are going to go even deeper into the chemical signals that control your life. Join us, take control. I'm Dr. Richard Coleman, and I'll see you in the next one.